10,000 kilometers, the distance I traveled from China to South Africa. From airport to hotel, the legacy of a movement that asked for justice still lives on, and the very ethos echoed in an event I was in. I encountered people from nearly 30 BRICS and African nations.
We need to collaborate more.
I'm feeling honored or happy.
We talked about the absence of justice with the media narratives.
We witness every day the weaponization of the media, especially in the last few years, accentuated lately by the NATO-led Ukraine-Russia conflict, the China-US trade tensions, the continued dominance of unipolar agenda and narrative consolidated into most leading global media platforms.
There are two issues that dominate the agenda of the mainstream media on Africa. It's either something horrible that's going on in the world, in Africa, like diseases, wars, corruption, or the issue on fauna, like lions and Kalashnikovs are the only topics that dominate the agenda on African continent when we speak about mainstream media.
Bosquea's words resonate with me. As a journalist, very often I find portrayals of my country, China, one-sided and even false. Pandas, kung fu, repression. But such bias exist not just in content, they extend to platforms.
Not everyone's voice is welcome on the platform. Suddenly, those skeptical of the mainstream media agenda found out that their content is quietly suppressed. And then it's when the shadow ban, the storm shadow ban, was coined and was dubbed as a conspiracy theory. To have a truly independent media, we need to have a truly independent social media platform. If we want to make this process globally, we need a long way to go.
We also talked about the justice of development. After all, 22 years ago, when economist Zheng O'Neill coined the term BRIC, he highlighted emerging economies' growing economic relevance and its impact on global governance.
The collapse of the Soviet Union and subsequent emergence of the unipolar order exacerbated international injustice by the United States seeing itself as world police. The world economic order, polity and culture became Americanized or Europeanized, with other states and nations having no sphere of influence. International trade and currency dominance have been perpetrated. Terms of trade have been determined by the West. They own the military-industrial complex, intervene in the political affairs of other states, have carried out regimes change and recognized unjust states and condemned innocent ones.
My country, Zimbabwe, has borne the burden of illegal and unilateral sanctions imposed on us by the United States of America for the past 23 years. Africa as a whole faces the scourge of neocolonialism as a real menace to our progress as it stifles investment.
I came across Kemi Seba, who's a pan-Africanist activist and social media influencer.
How come you get so many?
Because we work for people. We're advocating social justice for Africa, a necessity to create a multipolar world, because we think that Western hegemony must finish, definitely. Western hegemony means colonialism, and that's the ultimate form of imperialism in the world. To be linked with country of the BRICS is very important for us, because for us that's an alternative, another solution, another option.
Despite the challenges, Africa's prospect of development still shines. And exchanges of minds like this will just propel it. I couldn't help but recollect my own country's journey, from humble beginnings just a few decades ago to a profound transformation now. I grew up in a small town in South China, 2,000 kilometers away from the capital Beijing. In my primary school days, the kid who got more envy from peers was not the one with the best scores, but the one with an overseas uncle. Because that meant you were going to get a lot of foreign stuff not found at home. These shared experiences and expectations foster mutual understanding,
beyond a West-centric perspective. The understanding, for instance, that Africa needs infrastructure more than lecture. Africa needs trade more than just aid.
During my brief stay, I also met with ordinary South Africans who've never set foot in China, but know for sure there's a connection between them, one that enhances their life.
Is there anything on you right now that's made in China?
My jacket, my cap as well.
Okay.
And these are made in China.
My phone.
Ready?
My phone, take a look.
That's the charm of a globalized world where cooperation turns into win-win results, even for the most average people.